It's a brand new week, which means new comics, which means a new comic haul video. Hello again, everybody. This is Scott from Comic Book Hangover, and we're going to be going through another batch of new comic books. Now, some of these actually are not from my LCS this week. There's going to be two that I got that I pre-ordered just as sort of an experiment from DCBService. I did use them some time ago, and figured why not give it a shot again. But I'm the sort that I would rather support my local comic shop than do an online thing. But once in a while, I'll go ahead and do the online thing just to try it out. So first up is going to be this issue of As Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the Hella variant. This is part of some video game variant line, I guess. I don't know. All I know is the cover looks sweet. This is one that I did get off of DCBService. I do have an extra one of these. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with, though. But I just, for some reason, I'll get the Hella covers. They're hella cool. She's just got a great visual, and this one also, it just knocks it out of the park. I absolutely love it. So next up, it's gonna be Danger Doll Squad, Amalgama Lives, issue 3. This is just one of the many covers. So you're gonna notice this week I'm not really gonna talk about too much about the books, because some of these books I've talked about before. I'm buying them, so clearly I like them. So we're just gonna move on. So that's actually a pretty fun series. Marvel Action Classics, Spider-Man 2-in-1, Issue 1. This is another IDW Marvel series. This one I kind of picked up on a whim. I do like the Marvel Action line, the Marvel Action Spider-Man. It's out of continuity, and it's just a lot of fun. It's sort of the old school Marvel stuff that I liked from back when I was younger. This one here, it's a 2-in-1. I'm assuming it means it's got 2 stories in it. It is a $4.99 book. It's got a team up with Spider-Man and Werewolf by Night, and then clearly, as you can see, Spider-Man and Thor. So if you're reading this Spider-Man action, Marvel Action Line series, this is definitely one to get into. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if this is an ongoing thing or if this is a special, but if it's an ongoing thing or even like a semi-regular thing, I'll pick it out. I'll check it out. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and the art was really cool. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 39. This is the last issue of the Beyond the Grid story. It's also the last issue with the current creative team. This is the one I've been waiting for, because the next issue, number 40, begins the whole new creative team, whole new story direction, and will introduce the White Ranger finally into the series. This issue, it was kind of a mess. It was really hard to follow it. So no disrespect to the writer, Marguerite Bennett. She's done a fine job, but this issue was kind of a mess. So. But it's got a sweet cover, and I really enjoyed the cover. So, moving on. Spider-Man City at War number 3. It's a 5 or 6 issue miniseries. It takes its inspiration from the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man. So, it's another one that's out of continuity. And it's just a lot of fun. Just like the Marvel action stuff. You don't really have a lot of baggage with this. I guess it's expanding the world of the PS4 Spider-Man, and pretty fun. I'm not sure about the whole Gamerverse trade dress on there. It's kind of unnecessary, but it does set it apart from the regular Spider-Man stuff. Stranger Things 6, number 1 of 4. New Stranger Things series. If you're a fan of the show, the Stranger Things books from Dark Horse Comics are definitely something you want to do. These are great way to sort of survive the long gaps between seasons of the show. And does expand on the mythology of this really interesting world that's been created. So, and it's got some sweet covers too. Superior Spider-Man number 6. This one features Doctor Strange fighting a supernatural being. You kind of get an idea that Otto Octavius, the Superior Spider-Man, doesn't really know how to handle magic. You also get a really odd flashback where Otto went to Doctor Strange to get funding or something for his Octo Arms or something. That's kind of unnecessary, trying to connect the two characters, Otto and Doctor Strange. It's really unnecessary. But the story was good. Honestly, being completely honest, I'm real close to dropping this book. But this issue, if they focus on the characterization of Otto the way they did with this one, this is how Dan Slott wrote the character. They do that, I'll continue with the series. Otherwise, it's going to get 1 or 2 more issues, and I'm going to drop it. Hopefully I won't, but this one is definitely a step in the right direction. So the next two books are going to be this week's True Believers, part of the Marvel's Greatest Creators series. So I've got Silver Surfer, number 51, one of my favorite covers, and Web of Spider-Man. This is the first part of the Kraven's Last Hunt story. Another really awesome cover. I wish Marvel would go back to doing sweet covers like this. They don't really do main covers like this anymore. So this one here, Vampblade Season 3, number 12. This is the Mendoza variant, where she's clearly playing a video game. This is one that I didn't purchase. My local comic shop, as I've mentioned in previous videos, they do weekly raffles where you purchase certain books. Usually it's always a first issue, and then they have a selection of qualifying titles. If you purchase those books, you get entered into a raffle. You can pick one of anywhere from 8 to 10 variant covers or special covers, reprints, that sort of thing, and they do a drawing, and you win the book. This is another one that I won, and this one, I like this cover. I'll be honest with you, I don't read this series. She's a really cool character. I've read her from time to time, but this cover I really, really liked. I'm glad I won it. So thank you, Tim, and the fine folks at Nostalgia Inc. And then we've got this one. This is Venom, the Battle Max video game variant cover featuring, of course, Carnage. And this was the other one that I ordered through DCBService. And I do have two of these. I just got to figure out what to do the other one. But this one, that's just a sweet, sweet cover. So those are all the new books this week. It's going to fill up most of my wall. So I've got one more spot, and that's going to be for the last Godzilla book that I'm going to be able to feature this month. Of course, Godzilla starts in a couple of days. King of the Monsters, I'm super excited about it. I can't wait. I've already got plans to go see it twice. I'm going to go see it on Friday by myself, or hopefully somebody will go with me. But I'm going to go see it by I don't care. Come hell or high water, I'm going to go see it. The next week, my 4-year-old wants to go see it, so I want to treat him. It'll be my second time watching it, but I usually like to take him, the week after a movie starts, in the middle of the week, earliest showing. That way, he's not disturbing anybody. I don't want to be one of those parents that takes their kids to a major movie opening weekend and the kid is disturbing everybody else that's in the theater. So I'm not one of those parents. So this one here is going to be from the Marvel series, Godzilla number 23. And this is one of those really cool little off issues where he is fighting the Avengers. And I read this one in the Godzilla Essentials volume that I have. It was fun. It was really cool seeing Godzilla, kind of Godzilla's reaction to superheroes and the superheroes' reaction to something like Godzilla. So that was a lot of fun. And before we wrap it up, I would also like to give a shout out to Cody Lockwood of Lockwood's Loot, who was able to get this graded for me. Now this is, of course, everybody knows this cover. This is Infinity Gauntlet number 1. Try to get it without the glare here. It's Infinity Gauntlet number 1. As you can see, it's double signed. I got it double signed by George Perez and Jim Starlin. So we sent it in and got it graded. This is my original copy, and it came back as a 9.4. So this is actually the book that I bought when it first came out back in 1991. It was the first Marvel event that I ever read, and it really introduced me to the wide scope of the Marvel universe, and cemented my affinity for the cosmic part of Marvel. Before this, I was just getting the Ghost Rider stuff. And because this one seems to be getting a lot of reaction, I posted it on Instagram, I posted it on Facebook, and I got a lot of reaction to it. So this is Earthworm Jim number 1, written by Dan Slott. This cover price $2.25. That's weird. But I guess the series ran for 3 issues. I only ever saw the first issue. You can find the other ones online. But this one, I'm thinking about maybe sending this one to get graded. But I did happen to notice that it's not an absolute perfect cover. It looks great, but the nitpicky part of me, there's a little, I'm not sure what that is, but looks like maybe at some point something rubbed up against it or something. I don't know. It's still a sweet cover. I may still send it in because it's a fun book. So now let's wrap this up and check out the wall. Okay, so here is the wall for this week. All the new books I picked up, plus the Godzilla that I'm adding. So, also last week I did mention I was going to change the prints that I hang around my wall. So I went ahead and did it. Of course, I did Godzilla because, well, Godzilla's coming out this Friday. And the other ones that I added were some, we got, some Dan Mendoza and some Lady Death and some Bill McKay stuff up there, because, you know, got to represent the ladies. So, good stuff, good stuff. So, anyway, wrapping this up real quick, these are the books that I picked up, and I know I said I wasn't going to say too much about them. I know I ended up saying more about them than I kind of expected to, but this is what I grabbed. Hopefully, you know, again, as I always like to say, hopefully something grabbed your interest and you're willing to try something, one of these, or try something different. You know, anytime you make a trip into your local comic shop, ask, you know, see what they think you might like. If you go in as often as I do, your LCS, the fine folks that work there will know you, know your tastes, and will be able to steer you in the right direction. Otherwise, you know, check out, you know, I'm glad you checked out this video, but look up other videos. Everybody's always doing these kind of things, talking about the books they picked up and what they like and what they don't like. Be a good way to hopefully find something new. But in closing, hey, go ahead and, you know, click that like button if you're so inclined, and subscribe, leave a comment, do something so we can make this even bigger and even better. So we will see you next week.